Hello everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. I am Rosnita from Excel Academy and I am your host for today. Thank you for joining our webinar session for this week. Today we are with Miss Kayatthri for topic ChatGPT for social media success. Okay, if you have any question regarding this topic, do leave your question in the comment section and Miss Kayatthri will answer them right after her presentation. All right. So without further ado, now I pass this floor to Ms. Kayatthri. Hi, Kate. I think you're on mute. Can you unmute?
Can you guys hear me now? Is it clear? Can you hear
Okay.
me? Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Good.
Okay, is my slides visible? Is my slides visible, guys?
Yes. Okay. It's
Okay,
visible.
great. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here with us again. So today we will be talking about ChatGPT for social media marketing. So basically how you can use ChatGPT on social media, just like an overview and some key application that I will be sharing in the next 1 hour, how you will be able to use this AI, this very brilliant AI on your social media marketing for the success of your social media marketing. All right. A little bit introduction about me. My name is Kayatthri. I am a digital marketing trainer, also a practitioner whereby I'm running my own social media agency. All right. Apart from servicing corporate clients with their campaigns on social media and digital media, other digital media, I also actively train um, and also teach. All right. So this is some of the things that I do. So some of our clientele that we have service, we even trained also, they are listed here. All right, so let's go into our chat, our topic today, ChatGPT. So over the year, right, so especially since I think maybe last year, everyone's been keep hearing a lot about AI, AI automation, AI tools, and so many things. And whenever we talk about AI, one name always pops up, right? So that is ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? It's an application built by OpenAI. So ChatGPT is actually a language model. So it can basically answer your question. Ask it anything, it will answer you. You can get it to write a copy. You can ask it to write an email for you. You can even kind of like have a conversation with ChatGPT. So this is very interesting. So you guys should try this. Try to ask questions regarding anything, anything and everything in the world, even personal question, which I would personally advise not to. All right, because ChatGPT remembers everything. You don't want to get too personal with it, and probably you want to search up for this thing called hallucination AI, so where it can hallucinate as well. So that's a pretty interesting thing about ChatGPT and AI and stuff like that. So not only that, not only holding conversation, it can even explain code. It can help you to write codes. It can help you to look for bugs in your codes, if you're into coding and stuff. So this will be a very useful tool. Not only that, ChatGPT is up to current, it's around 80 languages. It's proficient in 80 languages. You can translate into so many languages, right? So you can use all this. So these are some of the use of ChatGPT. So to put it in a nutshell, it's like a chatbot. All right. So you are chatting with a bot. So it's a chatbot, but it's a very, very, very good chatbot. Right. So basically, it understands us as a human. It knows what we want. It tries to process what we want and then give us that answer that we are looking for. All right. So that is, in short, what is ChatGPT. Now, some of you might have questions like, if I need some answer, I can might as well search on Google, right? So why do I need ChatGPT? And some more, not all, no, ChatGPT, it has a few version, and you even need to pay, subscribe to certain version to get full feature of ChatGPT like GPT-4, right? So rather than paying for that or using ChatGPT, might as well use Google, right? Yeah, that's actually a valid thing. But this is the thing. ChatGPT, it generates new content, whereas on Google, it references existing content that's already available on the web, right? For example, if I want to ask a question, like for example, I want to know, okay, um, tell me the evolution theory by Charles Darwin, for example, right? So I can Google search for that particular question, and what I will get on Google is all the websites that talks about Charles Darwin on the theory of evolution. So this is what Google will give me. So I got to go through every website to look for the right answer that I need, whereas on ChatGPT, it straight away gives the answer that I want. Who is Charles Darwin, what's the evaluation theory, and the whole thing there. All right. And then I can even tell ChatGPT, this is too complicated. Can you explain as if you're explaining to a 10-year-old? So what ChatGPT will do is he or it will recreate the answer and give it in the simplest form, like how a 10-year-old could understand, probably with a little bit of storytelling and stuff, right? And if you want to make it even, exciting, you can even tell ChatGPT, can you give me this Charles Darwin theory in a poem, like, berpantun, right? Like that. And then it will write whatever that you want and give you that. All right. So this is the difference, right? So ChatGPT keeps generating new content, whereas Google takes the content that's already available on the web. Somebody has to put the content on the web, so it has to take the content and then it'll show you the results. So that is the difference. All right, so I hope you guys understand what is ChatGPT versus Google, right? Now, in a nutshell, what can ChatGPT do for you? I've listed out so many things here. Yeah, if you're a student, if you are in university, or even I have a 10-year-old boy, he uses ChatGPT to basically do his assignment, homeworks, and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a bit troublesome, but we need to just monitor that. So what can it do? It can solve any maths question. Just ask it a question of maths, it can solve it. It can write programming codes. Just I asked a very simple theory just now. You can ask it like complex theory, and it will be able to answer. Paraphrase stuff, right? For example, you found, this is something that we use in our agency as well. So let's say I found a blog spot, right? So I find this interesting, that the content is very interesting. So what I'll do, I'll copy paste the entire blog into ChatGPT and tell it to paraphrase it. So meaning to say that it will rewrite the content. All right. And when it's rewriting the content, I will tell it like, can you rewrite in a more professional tone, for example? All right. Or more fun tone, for example. So this is how we paraphrase. All right. And then, of course, you can summarize an article. Again, the blog spot, I can tell it to, can you summarize this? This is like a 1,000 word article. Can you help to summarize it into perhaps 500 words? So it will be able to summarize this, and you can even tell it like, maybe you can simplify it into 250 words. Yeah, it will be able to do based on your command, right? So we call it prompting. So based on whatever that you prompted, it will be able to help you. Not only that, it can create video scripts. Let's say you want to do something on, I'll show you the examples later, right? So anything and everything that you want to do, you can do it with ChatGPT. All right. So under OpenAI, there is ChatGPT. There is also another AI tool, which we call the DAL-E. All right. So what does DAL-E do, right? So ChatGPT, you ask a question, it answers, right? So anything that you prompt, it gives you a reply in the text form. So what DAL-E does is you give it, a prompt in a text form, and then it will give you back in the form of an image. So this is basically text to image AI. All right. So also part of OpenAI. So I'm just going to introduce you guys to this. But one thing is, this is not free. This is a paid version, but I will also share with you guys some of the free version that you can, which does the same thing, right? Basically, you can create images using AI. And these images, even though it's still very much in a gray area, it is not copyrighted. All right, because Google images are all copyrighted. That's why we would want to go to stock images like a free pic or pixabay, pixabay and stuff like that, right? But using AI, you can basically generate like super duper creative images and one of a kind images, and it will be very, very unique only for yourself, right? Because it creates based on your prompting. All right. So DAL-E is one of such. So, like for example, the image here, right? The input is as an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style. All right. So that is the output that you get. So whatever you prompt, you will get an output. So this is a AI that create realistic image from a description in natural language. All right, so normal text to an image. And then we also have another tool within OpenAI, which we call the Whisper. So what does Whisper does? This is a speech recognition model, all right? Speech recognition model. It can basically translate in anything. Like all you need to do is you need to upload a recording of any language, basically, and then it will translate it back to you whichever language that you want. So you can translate back into English. So this is also super cool, and this is part of OpenAI, right? Another AI tool that converts a voice to text. Okay. Now, ChatGPT has been really like a hot soup in the couple of in the last 1 year, right? So and before Thread came, right? Thread is a new feature by Instagram, if you don't know yet. So before that, ChatGPT is the fastest platform to reach 1 million users. So it took ChatGPT only 5 days to reach 1 million user. All right. So you can see the difference. Like it took Netflix 3.5 years. It took Facebook 10 months to reach 1 million user. And then ChatGPT only took 5 days. So this is like really, really fast. It's growing. More and more people are coming on board to use this. So this is like a right time for you to see how you can use it for your business or your whatever that you are doing, your work, if you are in the marketing side, marketing and ChatGPT is like peanut butter and bread. It goes so well together. All right. So some of the built-in application within OpenAI is the GPT, what we are learning now, what we are going to do now, embedding how you can search, classify, and compare text, and then you have image generation, like what I mentioned, the DAL-E, and then of course you have speech to text, Whisper, and best practices and fine tuning. So these are all application by OpenAI to teach us more, so that when we use all these features within OpenAI, including ChatGPT, you will know the right way of using it. Okay, now this is just like a summary. What is AI? So you have voice, you have text, voice to text, text to text. So this is basically AI, all right, for OpenAI GPT. Now, for any platform, there will be a performance evaluation. So when we are evaluating the how good the platform is, we will have certain criterias for us to evaluate. So for ChatGPT, the metrics that we use to measure the performance of ChatGPT are these four measures: perplexity, accuracy, fluency, and human evaluation. So what does perplexity mean? So it measures how well ChatGPT can actually predict the next word in the sequence. And it has to be not only it's able to predict the next word, but it has to make sense. All right. So this is why ChatGPT is so much better than other chatbot AI. Like we have so many others, in fact, right? So if I'm not mistaken, Bing has ChatGPT. AI. Google has an AI. So yeah, they are coming there. It's good also. But if you compare to the perplexity of ChatGPT, they are still need to catch up. All right. So ChatGPT can give you a very correct sequence of next sequence, and it's logical. All right. So this is what one of the performance evaluation. The second one is accuracy. How accurate can it provide the correct response to the user? And true enough, accuracy wise, ChatGPT is still, I won't say 100% accurate, but it's there, almost reaching there. All right. So, and then the fluency in the sense of how it can produce a natural sounding response. All right, it should not sound too robotic. It is an AI, artificial, still an artificial intelligence, not natural. But at one point of a time, when you are able to teach this machine teach this machine to learn how your tone, your voice, or maybe rather than saying your voice or your tone, I can say your brand's voice and personality. When you teach this bot how to sound more like your brand, then it will be able to copy that. But of course, there's certain process of how you can teach these machines. The machine learning comes into place later. All right, I'll also teach you guys on that. And then you look into human evaluation, right? For example, you really need to have people, human, to evaluate the quality of the response that ChatGPT gives you. All right. So of course, this can be done by surveys, respond from the respondent who used ChatGPT and stuff like that. But this is another continuous process. And of course, all these four main criteria, the main metrics, are used to evaluate the performance of ChatGPT. All right. Now let's look into some usage of ChatGPT. We have, you can produce high quality text. Definitely, very, very cost effective. Cost effective in the sense of like probably you may need to. I mean, you don't need to purchase tools to create content. No, in the past there were a lot of content creating tools, right? So, but you have to pay. So now you don't need to do that, right? Or you may want to downsize your content creation team. Now, I'm not saying that this chat GPT can replace human. No, this is just a tool. Remember, that's just a tool, right? So you can use this tool, but you can help to reduce the amount of work your team needs to do, all right? So cost effective. And of course, it has very large vocabulary, the very fast speed, within 10-second, 15-second max, you can get your answer, and very easy to use, super easy to use, and so flexible. So I'll let you guys know how you do it. All right. So how to get ChatGPT is pretty easy. Just go to chat.openai.com, and then you got to log in. If you don't have anything, I mean, if you're very new, just sign up. Sign up. You can use your email, your user email or password, or you can just sign up with using a Google, or if you have Microsoft, yeah, you can just sign up using those. All right. So it's pretty easy. I'm not going to go through the steps here, right? Now let's go into how you can use ChatGPT for social media marketing. So this is the exciting part. Number one, you can create content. All right. So yeah, when I say content, it's about copywriting. So you have like social media platforms. There are multiple platforms, right? And one of the things that you need to do for this platform so that your content stands out and will be able to reach more people is when you write a good caption, engaging caption. And to add with the caption, you need to have right hashtags. So you can ask ChatGPT to write a content for you. All right. So when you want to write a content, you just have to put the correct prompting. I will show you guys how to do. Like you can create content for different target audience, all right, and you can create content for different social media platform, because you won't be able, you don't tell ChatGPT create a content for this content, like maybe we are launching a product and create a social media content for the launch, full stop. And then ChatGPT will come up with some whole thing, whatever that you wanted to create. And you cannot take that and copy paste in all Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, because it doesn't work that way. So you have to tell GPT clearly that this content is for Facebook, this content is for Twitter, this content is for Instagram, for example, because there's different length of words that we can use for different platform. So need to prompt it rightly. All right. So rather than, a lot of time will be used to creating content. So if you're involved in content creation, you know how tedious the job is. Like in my agency, we will take around easily 1 month to create content, copywriting, hashtag research on hashtags, and also image creation. This will take 1 month to create 30 posts, for example, right? So in a on average one post per day, image caption and hashtag research. So all this you can just reduce your time and do it like super fast using ChatGPT. The second thing is you can ask it for some strategy advice. Like for example, you have already you are going to launch a product like I mentioned just now, right? You're going to launch a product. Probably this is into a market penetration, totally new product, new market. You just want to it's existing product into a new market penetration. So you ask ChatGPT, okay, currently this is the market that we are servicing. We are looking into penetrating into a totally different market, probably different country or different region or different target audience altogether. All right. So how can we do it? Can you give us an advice? Give us an advice, a strategic and tactical advice on how a social media campaign should be. All right. So this is the words. If you guys listen carefully, I have been using a lot of keywords. So this, when we are using ChatGPT, it's very important on the prompting, that what you are prompting, right? So later I will teach you the right way of prompting, all right? But just listen to all these keywords that I'm using now. Okay, so it can give you so many things, no strategy advice and all that to make it even better. You can tell it like based on the insights, you give an insight. This is our target audience. This is what the purchasing power like, for example. So based on this, give us a strategy on how can we capture this new target audience, right? So ask it for strategical advice. And then you can also create content calendar. All right, so again, in any when you are doing social media, you cannot run away from creating content calendar, because if you don't create content calendar, that means you are just not properly planning your social media content, your social media marketing. If you're still doing on an ad hoc basis, stop and relook at your the whole process of creating a content for social media, because you got to start with the content calendar so that you can see clearly what you need to deliver throughout the month, throughout the next month, right? So what we can tell ChatGPT is you need help to create a content calendar, and you got to input things like your brand. You got to tell things, like for example, again, your target audience, what's your product description, and if there's any important events coming up, like for example, you may be selling cakes, right? And you know that what May and June, there's Father's Day and Mother's Day coming, and then you have Teachers Day also, right? So you need to prompt all this thing to chat gpt. Sometimes it's smart enough to pick up certain things, but sometimes you must tell it, right? You must tell it like include special days, like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Teachers Day, stuff like that. That's the upcoming event. And then you might have some campaign that you want to do. So prompt all this information and ask it to create a content calendar for the next 1 month. So it will go by detail. Like if you say next 1 month, you also need to tell that total how many contents that you want, like maybe 20 contents, right? For different platforms. So it will give you a content idea. All right. Another thing is you can ask a lot of questions. I mean, you can prompt it a lot of things, but I would suggest to do a chained prompting method. That means one by one. Okay, I will show you guys how to do it later. That's on content creation. And then you also can create image with ChatGPT. Not really. It's not directly. You cannot create ChatGPT images from ChatGPT because it's text to text AI tool. It's not text to image. If you want to use text to image, then you got to use things like DALL-E or Mid Journey or Agencraft. So these are like tools where you can actually prompt using text to create image. But how you can use ChatGPT is you can get ideas. Like for example, I needed to create, like for one of my assignments, right? We have to create a mascot, a brand personality, right? A mascot for okay, so Petronas Malaysia, right? So Petronas Malaysia doesn't have like a mascot, but their brand personality, it shows that they are fun, cheerful and stuff like that. But to portray that we don't have a mascot. So we can ask ChatGPT, which we did, ask ChatGPT, come up with the description prompt for prompt text for Mid Journey to create a mascot for this brand. So what you need to include is it has to be fun, it has to be creative, it has to look like really friendly and stuff like that. So it will give me a prompt. Then what I do, I take the prompt and copy into Mid Journey. All right. So in a while, maybe I can just show you guys this platform, right? So if we have time, I will just show you guys Mid Journey and Gencraft, for example, because I've been using this a lot. Okay, so and for ChatGPT, you can also ask things like, I need to create a content for Instagram story, right? For example, Instagram story, what should be the right size for it? So ChatGPT will be able to give you these ideas, even though it doesn't create the image, but it can assist you in creating the right image. All right. Then you use different tools to create the right image. Okay. And then you have content ideation. So what is content ideation? See, content creation is different thing. Content calendar is a different thing. Content ideation is a different thing. You need to have content calendar first. All right. Okay, that's the okay. So you need to have content pillars, then you create ideation. Based on your ideation, you need to, fill up your content calendar, and then you create the content. So this is the process, right? So you come up with an ideation. Ideation basically is the big picture of what you want to achieve. Like for example, uh, again the product launch, right? So you want to know what is the pillar is product launch, and then you want to be able to tell who is this product launch is going to be catered to. Second thing, who's the target audience. Third thing is what is the message that you want to give, what will be the call to action. All right, so that is the message and the call to action. And the fourth one is what is the type of content you want to create. That means, is it going to be an image, is it going to be a video, um, or is it going to be a GIF, or is it going to be a live session? So it can be anything. That is the content type. How you present a content is the content type. So all this combined together is the ideation. So what is the end result that you want to get from here? So you ideate the whole content. So that's the content ideation. And this may sound like very deep, very detailed, but you'll be able to do it with the help of ChatGPT. All right. And then repurpose content. This is I really love doing this because we believe in sustainability marketing. All right. So I don't know. Yeah, it is creative to a certain level, but at the same time, that there's so many content out there that can be repurposed and reused, right? So what we can do, like I mentioned an example earlier, right? So you may found a blog article, all right? So a blog article that quite exciting and all that, so you can use that blog article, and then you can rephrase it, or you can repurpose it and tell ChatGPT that, okay, this is the article that I want, and can you repurpose the content to create a video. Give me a video script for this. So it will give you it will generate the video script and give you an idea. All right, so that's one kind of content. Using the same blog, you can also ask it to write, I'm going to write for Facebook. Can you repurpose this content for a Facebook? Just include the points here. All right. Or you can also say that I want to write it in a longer, professional looking, professional tone article based on this blog for my LinkedIn. So can you help me to do that? So it will just create a content based on that. All right, so this is how we repurpose content, because yeah, of course we can repurpose content, but the thing here is you don't copy other people's work, right? Even when you're repurposing content, it's always ethical to credit to the right source, original source. If you took it from certain website, just put it the website, the source, it has to be there. Because as much as there's too many people are like, definitely you don't want people to copy your work, right? The same thing goes for others, right? So even if you're taking other people's content, don't forget to credit the source. All right, so this is something that we do actually. Even some of the content they already posted in the past, and you feel like, okay, this content really had like a lot of engagement among all our followers. So we want to repurpose this content again, rather than putting back the same content that it loses its spark. All right. So you want to be a little bit original, even though the content is not original. You can repurpose the content and get ChatGPT to help you to repurpose the content, because it just gives you new perception every time. All right. Now I'm just going to show you guys. This is of course, everyone knows this, right? Ryan Reynolds. So he created a very interesting ad, all right, for his company, the Mint Mobile ad company, and it was created. When I say it was created, the entire script was created by ChatGPT. So you guys can hear it. This is just like a very short video.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. We're always looking for ways to save you money. So this year, we're kicking things off with an ad that I created using ChatGPT, the AI technology. This is what I asked it to write. I said, write a commercial for Mint Mobile in the voice of Ryan Reynolds. Use a joke, a curse word, and let people know that Mint's holiday promo is still going, even after the big wireless companies have ended theirs. This is what it wrote. Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here. First of all, let me just say Mint Mobile is the shit. But here's the thing. All the big wireless companies out there are ending their holiday promos, but not Mint Mobile. We're keeping the party going because we're just that damn good. Give Mint Mobile a try. And hey, as an added bonus, if you sign up now, you'll get to hear my voice every time you call customer service. Just kidding, that's not really a thing. Stay classy, everyone. That is mildly terrifying, but compelling. So this year.
How interesting is that? Yeah.
Hey, it's Ryan.
So yeah, now let's look into prompt engineering. I'm going to go quite because just like a webinar, I'm just giving you some idea, right? So when you want to write prompt, guys, just something that you can straight away start and see the results, right? So prompting is very important when you are using ChatGPT or any AI per se, right? So because a prompt, what is prompt? Basically the way you ask question to ChatGPT, the way you structure your question, it's prompting. All right. So there are techniques to write this prompt. So the simple technique, easy to use for everyone. This is what I'm going to share with you. You start with the right context. Okay, I'll explain one by one, don't worry. And then tell ChatGPT what is your job, what is your task clearly. Give it instruction, ask a clarification question, clarify the question, and then you can refine. Like for example, this is the formula. The first one is context, right? So sometimes why is that? Ignore the previous prompt in this conversation, because this ChatGPT just remembers everything, all the previous conversation. If your new prompt has nothing to do with the previous conversation, tell it clearly, ignore this. All right. So you have to tell it, ignore the previous prompting. Now we are starting fresh. So the context here is you are going to tell ChatGPT who you are. Who are you going to think yourself as ChatGPT? So you're going to say, hey, ChatGPT, you are an experienced content writer, with high level of expertise and authority in the tech industry. So you are giving it a context. So you're putting in ChatGPT's mind, if it has something, you are an expert in content writing, especially in this industry. All right, so that is the thing. So your context can be anything. So let's say you want to you know uh, create a video. All right, video script for a product launch, or new area opening or something like that. So you can say things like, you are an experienced creative director, okay, of a multinational multinational company or something like that. Give a more specific thing. Multinational company can be anything, right? So you can say multinational tech company, or multinational food company, food chain, stuff like that, because it just changes the context. So tell ChatGPT what is the context. So you're going to create a ID. You are going to create a response based on this context, based on the context that you are an expert. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to clearly identify the task. What is your job? So here, your job is to write a a content that will published online on website, just tell it, social media and stuff like this, newsletter, advertisement and thing. Your This is the second thing. Your writing style is informative, friendly, engaging. So this is all brand's personality, your brand's image. What is your tone and your voice of your brand? So include it. So you're giving it more task, telling it this is your task. And then you go into the instruction. Okay. So I will provide you with a tag topic of or series of topic, and you will come up with engaging content outline for the topic. Okay. So this is the instruction. Then you ask a clarification question. Do you understand? That's all. Stop. Enter. So the first thing that ChatGPT will tell is, yes, I understand that I have to write a content based on this as a, expert content writer with so many years of experience. No, you can even prompt it that. You can tell that you have so many years of experience, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I will do. So you already tell it. Now you tell it again, what is the topic? Or you can even include in the question itself, in the instruction. So your topic is this. So do you understand? Something like that. And then ChatGPT will respond. Now, once it responds, right? So you can see what's the quality of the response. If you don't really think that this is the quality that you want, you can go to step number 5 is to refine. So refining means you ask it to rewrite the content which is already written. You want it to rewrite in a different manner, for example. All right. So probably you feel like it doesn't follow your company's brand personality. So you want to tell ChatGPT, rewrite it again. Use more natural language. Do not sound like a bot. Sound like a human with humor, for example. So these are the some of the things that you can prompt to ChatGPT. Okay. So of course, in detail class we will go so detailed into different type of prompting. Okay. So here I'm just giving you an overview, all right, how you can prompt. So, okay, let's go into content creation. Just going to go quick on this. So ChatGPT can write so many things like products, you can ask it to, for a website, for example, you have meta text. So you can ask it to write your meta, you can ask it to write description, headline, everything, right? And proper ones. And of course, you need to like really teach this machine to keep write like how your brand will write. Okay. It takes a few round until it can give you that right clarity of writing. Okay. And of course, social media, it can be for so many different platforms. You just name it, it just knows what to write for each platform. Okay. And blog, you can tell these are the certain keywords, and then tell it to be SEO friendly and stuff, and then it will help you to write. Of course, video script also can be done. So this is example, all right, how you prompt for a video script, right? So give me an Instagram script for an Instagram video on how to use ChatGPT for marketing. Video must have 5 list, all right, 5 point. So for example, the answer it can give, yeah, it will give you like opening shot. What do you want to write in the first opening shot? And then tip number 1, tip number 2, tip number 3. So how you can make this prompting is better, include the context. Think you are an creative director, or you are an experienced video script writer, for example. Okay. And what you can do better is you can tell it how many points you want. You already mentioned it. How long do you want? You can also ask it to include the timeline as well. So 0.0 to 1 second, or 0 to 5 second, what will happen? 5 6 to 7 second, what will happen? So you can also prompt it to write with the timeline. Okay. And this is to prompt on social media posts. You can tell ChatGPT to write short posts about digital marketing for Facebook. So it already written for Facebook with emojis. And then you can ask to write a post for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn will be much longer, right? So it can write longer. All right. So you can prompt different things for social media. And then you have social media management, right? Like this is where you got to like if you have this is a different level, right? So you there's a bit of automation, like you get the API from ChatGPT and put it into your content management tools. Like if you're using, like for myself, I'm using Metricool. So I have integrated Metricool with ChatGPT so that I can use ChatGPT to schedule. I can ask ChatGPT to analyze. This is very important. You know, of course, Metricool is an analyzing tool, right? It gives you, it gives me the all these report that I want. But report is just report. It's just data. If you don't analyze, it's just going to be there. So what ChatGPT is going to help me to do is to analyze the data. All right. So certain content is getting good results. Why? How can we improve? So that is where it will actually help in improvising our content. So this is a very deep subject, and it's a very interesting subject. You know, when you know how to integrate these two platforms, two different platforms. Actually, if you're on Buffer, if you're on a Hootsuite, everything you can just link with ChatGPT also. All right. Then you can do email marketing, right? It can create a personalized email. And of course, you can also link it, the API again, you can link it with your email tools. Like if you have a MailChimp, for example, a Sendinblue, all these things. So you can actually integrate, and then you can create different kind of emails for different segmentation. And then you can see which headline, for example, works the best, you know, had the highest click-through rate. So all this can be done. So this is where I mentioned about the A/B testing, right? So you can do that. All right. So for example, prompting a email marketing. So write a promotional email for 50% off for this SEO service, and then the subject is that it gives you the name and then the whole thing. Okay. So that's prompt on email marketing. And of course, you can do it for research, market research. Like, for example, when I use, you can link it with a Facebook as well, right? So you can just check how is the market responding, what will be the future market. So for that, you need to give a little bit more input about who are your current market right now, right? So give your current market and then ask it like analyze this current market and give me a suggestion for future market. No, you can do this. And of course, this is if you want to do market research, like you want to create a survey form, you can also ask ChatGPT to come up with the questions. Okay. Yeah, this is something on giving personalized recommendation, but of course you need to allow ChatGPT to collect this data. All right. So previously I had a question from one of our participant whether the data is safe. You know what? Your data, of course, all this platform, you have to to a certain extent, I won't say it's entirely safe or not safe, but you already kind of like agree to certain agreement, and they also say that it is safe. Just like how Facebook say our data is safe, and then you know what happened now, right? So it's like you're doing it at a risk. Definitely, there's a risk, right? So that so many data is available, so many data being processed, you know. So if you ask, I'm not going to tell this 100% safe, right? So there might be chances that it is not, but it's entirely our take on it, right? The risk is always there. Okay. So of course you can, you want to get some personalized recommendation from ChatGPT, you need to provide it with certain data. But if you feel like the data is sensitive, then you have an option of not giving it the data. All right. So yeah, to get to know more about your target audience, but you got to still give it some basic information about your industry, your business, what are the, your target audience. If you have like a customer persona, just feed the customer persona's detail to them, to ChatGPT, and it will give you certain understanding about your customer target audience. All right. So this is an example. How do you prompt a customer persona? So you can tell like demographic characteristic of my target audience. No, I'm going to sell like 300 ringgit perfume for women 25 to 35 years old. So based on this, give me what is the demographic characteristic. So not only it gives you the demographic characteristics. So these are all demographic. Lifestyle and status is already like psychographic, right? So it gives you a complete customer persona here, demographic plus psychographic. And of course, you can use ChatGPT to build your sales funnel. So this is an exciting part because your sales funnel, for each level of your funnel, there are areas where you need to create content. All right, like for awareness part, you need to have like blog articles, online ads, videos, and stuff like that. So by giving it the prompt, the right prompting using the ADA model, this is the ADA model, right? Giving it the proper prompt using the ADA model. So you will be able to create content for each level. So basically you can build your sales funnel just by using ChatGPT. All right. So very quickly, I'm just going to give you, some tips on using ChatGPT on social media. Make your prompt very, very specific. Don't be afraid that it's going to be too long. No, the longer the better. So why? You're giving it more information. Don't tell simply stories and stuff like that. Give right information. All right, give very valuable information that the chat gpt will be able to use it and give you a good response, right? That's number one. Very, very specific prompting. So you can use the prompt formula that I showed you. There's another prompt formula that's a little bit more detailed, so I'll be showing all that in the class. All right. And then always fast check your result. Don't trust ChatGPT bullet, because yeah, it will answer you super confidently, but not always the right answer. All right, like you have this question: how many letters are in the word inaccurate? So it will say it has 9 letters. Then you just ask it, are you sure? Straight away say sorry, I apologize for any confusion. Then it has so many letters. Then ask, are you definitely right this time? When you ask this kind of question, right, it will say sorry, repeat, and all that, right? So always check your fact. All right, so don't 100% rely on ChatGPT. Remember, this is just a tool, not a solution. Okay, a tool to help you to make your life a little bit better, but don't you know depend like 100% on it. All right, you still need human. Okay. And then of course you have to like what like we already checked the results, right? You always have to revise wisely. Like for example, if you don't like certain answer that ChatGPT gave you, all right, you feel like something is wrong, tell it again to do it again, but don't say write again. Rather than saying write again, give it specifically, tell it, revise it specifically. What do you want? Like for example, can you try it again with more professional tone, and please do not include emojis. If it already included emojis, you can tell don't do that. All right, so this is how you prompt it again to revise correctly. Okay. And then give examples. So this works very well. You see, if this is our style of writing, all right, so just copy paste your original style of writing and then paste it. Tell, I'm going to give you like 3 different sample of writing, and I want you to analyze this writing style and write based on this style. So the important thing that you need to remember, our tone of writing has to be fun, has to have clarity, and has to have like authoritative as well. So this is what you need to tell it, right? So why, by providing example, you're teaching this machine how to learn. Okay, you're teaching how to learn your style of writing. So you'll be able to, over time it will adapt to your style of writing with the right prompting. Okay. And then like this is what I mentioned earlier, use change prompting. Rather than giving like everything in one prompt, break it down. Like for example, I can say I'm going to launch a new product. Can you give a headline for this blog? And then you tell, okay, currently I want to also write about the product description. This is the product, can you write a description? So you can just go chain by chain prompting. Okay, rather than going all together, write product description, write headline, write this all this thing, write call to action and stuff like that. So give it one by one. Okay, so that why this is also important, for every area that you do, you will be able to rectify if it is not right. Okay, then you go to the next stage. Okay, so yeah, we are towards the end of our session. So even though ChatGPT is it's like a godsend for some, right? But there can be a lot of issues, like legal and ethical issues, right? Some of that is it may create text that is similar or very, very identical to copyrighted content. All right, so you can have these issues of copywriting in the future also, right? So how we do it is we get it from ChatGPT, you try to paraphrase it. All right, so there are a lot of tools to paraphrase it, like Quillbot and Content AI, so you can paraphrase this. Okay, the only problem with paraphrasing is sometimes your content will sound very, very artificial intelligence, what you expect, right? So what I would suggest is, if you have like a team of people who can actually help to reword, paraphrase, you already have that idea, you just have to paraphrase, you can do it. All right, um this this kind of a certain response, right? We had like response where it was too personal, and it was giving response that is not appropriate in terms of racial, religion, this kind of thing. So it can also do that, right? So that this is where the ethical issue comes in. But of course, again, if you treat ChatGPT like a tool, it giving you a prompt, it giving you a response based on your prompt, but you don't like it, then you can keep on teaching it to change. All right. So of course, there's a lot of data and stuff like that. That's what I mentioned, harmful stereotypes and discrimination. But it's on how we are going to use the data. All right. So of course, more ethical is plagiarism. So this happens a lot with university school students and all, because we have tools to check if your content is original or not, right? So another thing about so you got to be like really smart when you're doing this, right? Again, I say chat gpt is a tool. Don't 100% depend on it. You need to have human interaction as well. All right, so just the simple things here. And then the future of ChatGPT, it's not going to just stop here, right? It's not going to just stop here in the sense of, text to text or text to image or speech to text and stuff like that. There's a lot of other things is coming up, like to help an organization to streamline its operation, data entry. A lot of companies spending a lot on data entry work, appointment scheduling. To you have certain data, you want to just check through the data, make sure there's minimal error, so the accuracy of the data is really high. So ChatGPT will be able to do all this. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. I'm going to end my session now. Let me just stop share. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much, guys. If you have any question, you can ask me.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Kay, for the great and informative sharing. Also, thank you everyone for joining our webinar session for today. If you have any question, you can drop them now. So let's wait a bit for the questions.
If um, if they are still looking right, I can just share something. Just share, because I wanted to show them the mid journey. That right? Good. Uh, share my. Okay, so if you can see my screen, so this is Mid Journey. All right, so in order to join Mid Journey, you got to have a Discord account. Okay, so you got to have a Discord account, and then once you have like Mid Journey, just look for newcomers, and then all these prompt, these are all newcomer prompt. And what you got to do is in the message box, if you guys can see this, right? Okay, in the message box, you just have to prompt like / imagine. Okay, and then you can put the prompt. So whatever prompt, so normally what I'll do, I'll just go to ChatGPT. I got to log in and then ask it to give me a prompt, and based on that I will just put into my Discord and then enter. All right, so all these are whatever that has been prompted. Maybe the internet is slightly slow. Okay, so all these are prompted, this all this stuff. So this is one person asking all this question. Let me look for some others. If you have question, you can just type while I'm just showing this, guys, right? So Canyon Superbike, for example. So these are all images created by Midjourney. okay, just by prompting. uh, Shark with Italian traditional outfit and mustache eat pizza. I don't know why they want to create all this, but this is that, it has been prompted. One thing about Mid Journey is a lot of users are using it, right? So like the response might be very slow, or it will just tell you, you got to subscribe and stuff. So subscription may cost some money. Or you can also use GenCraft. So GenCraft is free. Every day you get 10 prompts, right? For example, I can tell it like, okay, a white bird flying over a volcano. So this is a prompt, volcano. All right. So I can tell it like how I want it to be: mystic, cyberpunk, natural. So maybe I can say things like mythological. Okay, and then I will ask it to generate. So it's generating. So it's like really, really fast, like within a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And every day, for every email that you will get this. All right, so this is what I've prompted, right? A white bird flying over a volcano. So this image. Okay, the thing here is, because this is free, you will have GenCraft logo here. So when you download, it will have GenCraft logo, but of course you can, if you don't want that, you can just upgrade and get no logo there. All right, so this is what I wanted to share just now.
Okay, thank you, Ms. K, for sharing the information. And I think we do not have any questions today.
Okay.
Right?
No, faham.
So, everyone, as shown on the screen right now, these are our upcoming public courses. And for your info, we will be having public class ChatGPT Mastering Enhancing Marketing Communications and Productivity by Ms. Kayatthri on 15 August. So if you are interested in any of these courses, please contact us for more details or for registration. Okay, so with that, we see you again next time. And thank you and goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Okay, thank you once again.
Thank you, Rose. Bye.
Bye.